What's up, everybody? Welcome back to OnlyFarts. Thank you. It's good to be back. I've been taking like week hiatuses here and there, but we'll get all into that. We will. But before that, let's get into some plugs. If you like me, which I know you do, follow me at DamnItBrad, at Chef Asshole on Instagram. And if you're one of the kids, which you know you are, at Damn_Brad on TikTok, 35,000 strong. Unfortunately, the app is punishing me as of late. I am banned from the Creator Fund from past clips I've posted from the podcast and certain sketches that didn't fly with them. So I highly recommend Instagram if you can. And if you want to give me a little change, OnlyFarts, patreon.com/OnlyFarts. But we finally have a YouTube link, youtube.com/bradstoll. Please give me a sub there. Would really appreciate you a lot for that. And now we're here in sunny Pasadena. Can you hear the copters? Can you hear the planes, the helicopters? Can you hear it all? You feel the nature in here? Does it feel like a bit of a documentary? Does it feel like very Nat Geo of me to just be sitting here? We see the bald man with crippling depression sitting there recording a podcast in a backyard that's not his. Things are changing. Time is lapsing. Is he hungry? Or is he just looking for the next big thing in his life? I can't get into too many details, but life happens. Doing all right. Been working on a few things for myself, and I'm really excited to have you guys part of all that. Let me pull up my list of things to talk about eventually. Yeah, man. A lot of exciting things have happened in the last couple weeks. That's why I haven't been able to record the podcast since Tori Piskins, if you haven't watched that episode, and all the other ones to go with that as well. A few things. I am officially a California resident. You heard it right. I finally got rid of the Jersey license. I finally fucking cashed out. I fucking go, here, fucking switch this shit and make me a sunny person. I'm officially a Cali boy. I'm officially LA Brad. That was a lot of things people used to say, like all my friends used to be like, oh, it's LA Brad now. He's all chill now. It sounds like he swallowed a couple fucking crystals and now he's all happy and chill. No, I'm still a wreck. I'm still a wreck of a boy. Hey, don't let the sunshine fool you. Do you see that fucking gleam I'm getting? This fucking shininess that I'm pulling off right now? It's burning my scalp is what it's doing. It's really not as good as it looks. But this is great lighting. You want to talk about great lighting? I'm in golden hour here in California. Does it get better than that? Does it get more Hollywood? Yeah, being LA is all whatever, but I'm still a psycho. I'm still out of my goddamn mind. I don't know, man. Dude, it was the most painless DMV experience I've ever had in my life. I can't even believe how short of an experience. That's how much people don't want to go to the DMV. They're afraid if you're going to get COVID anywhere, it's definitely not the DMV. No one was there. I showed up. I got seen in 15 minutes. I'm like, am I in a fucking another dimension? How has no one shot up a DMV yet? That's my question. Well, it's clearly somebody who wants to keep driving. I guess that's probably why they haven't done it, but that's the first place on earth. If I was mentally insane and I was going to light up anywhere in the world, the DMV, first one on the list. Then it's the dentist office, because fuck them. Fucking car salesman. Don't even get me started again. But yeah, dude. It was super quick, and I almost failed the I almost failed the eye exam. And I haven't been to an optometrist in, I don't know, forever. You know, your thing changes. This is really distracting, by the way. I have my buddy gave me his video game headset because he wants to cosplay as a virgin. But this is something that's here that it doesn't even pick up the microphone here. It doesn't connect. So I'm just going to move that back there so I'm just not distracted by it. Yeah, dude, like I almost failed the fucking eye test. That was scary. Because I didn't know what was going to happen. I figured I'm just going to change over my license. What the fuck? What? Oh, my friend's showing his ass. Thanks for interrupting a really good rant about the fucking DMV for your fucking ass. I hope he watches this. What a schmuck. I'm trying to make art here. I'm trying to vent about my life, and this asshole is showing me his asshole. I got great friends. Anyways, work under the conditions you have. Keep dreaming. Keep chasing, peoples. Anyways, it gets to that part of the thing where he's just like, okay, you got this document, that's great. You have this, that's great, blah, blah, blah. And this guy's probably, I don't know, within the couple years that I am, he's probably 28, maybe 30. Who knows? Because I'm not 30 yet. And then he goes, all right. And finally, we got to do an eye test. I go, sup? You ever get that when like someone just drops some fucking bomb on you? You go, sup? I'm in my own movie now. Sup? What'd you say? Eye test? I'm not 90. You don't need to give me that. If you're giving me an eye test at 29 years old, you need to fucking restructure your entire program. I'm not your guy. I'm not somebody who enjoys a good butterscotch and takes poor little children's cheeks and pulls them as hard as possible. You got the wrong guy. We're just switching this over. In Jersey, it might as well have been ran by the mob because nobody gave me an eye test. They were just like, okay, here you go. Here's your license, $60. And that's how they get you. They charge you more because they want you to know that, like, hey, we're trusting that your first license you got was fine, and we're just going to give it to you. In California, they're like, if you're going to live here, we got to make sure, like, your eyes are good. I'll be honest with you. I think everyone failed the fucking driving test in Los Angeles. This is the worst set of fucking drivers ever to exist on the planet. My theory is that since everyone's from different parts of the world, nobody knows how to drive with each other, hence why nobody signals when they fucking turn in the next lane. And this is very LA to talk about, but we're going to talk about it. LA drivers are fucking awful. They must all be drunk. For a state that is legal for weed, why is everyone driving like they drank a 40 and got on the road? Are you fucking kidding me? I have to take the eye test? Well, you must have passed everybody that should have failed. Because, listen, I'll be honest with you. My left wasn't doing so hot in this eye test. And here's the best part, right? Then he decides... I realized there was also a bad omen in the air because as I was getting led into the DMV, they had like a pre-screener to make sure you had all your documents before you walked in because like, don't waste our time. This old foreman, he goes, she's like, sir, you're not going to be able to get what you need for the real ID because you didn't print out X, Y, and Z document. He goes, but I do not have printer. I do not know how to print this out. I don't know. He's like Eastern European or something, but that's kind of what he sounded like to me. And she goes, yes, I understand that, sir, but if you can't print it out, you can't do it. He goes, you don't understand. I don't know how to use a printer. First of all, if you're old and don't know how to use a printer, fuck you. You're not old enough. There are plenty of people that are really old that don't know how to use the internet. I get it. Sure. When you go around saying, I don't know how to use a printer, like you weren't around for the first printer or scanner, fuck you. That is such a fucking lie. That's a dude who's just like, I didn't want to buy all the printer ink. I'm going to throw on this accent, and then I'm going to see if this lady's going to let me through. She could not have given a shit. Pure DMV form. Beautiful, pure DMV form. Fuck that guy. And he started crying, which was like, to me, it was like, okay, this is like when the crow like flies by your face and then a black cat walks by, and it's like, let's see how much we can fuck with you before anything. Is it fucking raining? Are you kidding me? I'm never doing an outdoor one. I'm never doing an outdoor fucking podcast ever again. This is very, very unprofessional of the weather not to respect the fact that I'm trying to record a podcast called OnlyFarts. Very disrespectful. And so he goes in, still crying about how he can't print, like he wasn't born in the last 50 years. You can't expect somebody to really believe that you don't know how to use a printer when most jobs expect you to print something at some point in your life. He's old enough to know a printer was around when he was around. I just don't buy it. He's like, I don't know how to print things. Then you literally must have come out of like a time capsule from a certain time and just fucking appeared, because that just doesn't make sense. How have you never fucking printed something out? Even the lady was looking at her, she's like, you haven't printed something out? Really? Like, I'm sorry. You're old, but you're not fucking stupid. Please, dude. Go print something out and come back. Did you know that they have stores where you can print things out and someone will just do it for you? What? You serious? No. Oh, you can print something? Here we go. You fucking idiot. You old, stupid man. That scheme isn't going to work here. Be like, I'm old. I can't do things. No. You are so lazy is what you are. First of all, printers cost nothing now. You can literally get a printer for like $40. For someone to be like, I can't afford a printer, but I can afford a license, prioritize. Social Security should be sending you enough money to get that printer. Or call your nephew. Or were you a shithead to him? Is that why you don't have any grandkids who can't teach you how to print something? Jesus, man. But I do not know how to use a printer. It sounded like they took like a newsie. He's like, I never heard of a printer. Tell me more about this witch printer you got going here. This black magic. Oh my God. Anyways, go back to the eye test. My left eye is not doing too hot. So then he makes me move over to this dirty, dusty, you know that eye thing that the optometrists used to use before, they start getting like the cooler shit that's like more advanced, where you basically press your face in and all the letters appear. Yeah, had to do that bullshit. And let me tell you, I was so nervous, building with so much anxiety that the fog from my breathing kept fogging up the letters. So I couldn't even read from that. And then I really had to like maneuver the machine in a way. I almost had to pick it up and like position it so I could see it with my other eye. And I finally got one line down. He's like, okay, all right. And I was like, okay. He brings me back to the desk. He goes, all right, man, you passed. First of all, don't fucking do that, okay? I was like, oh my God, holy shit, dude. I literally didn't think you were going to pass me. He's like, no, man, you passed. You did it. You read the line. That's all you needed to do. Wow, the requirements in bar in Los Angeles are not very high. And then as soon as I got that, I was like, yep, it really makes sense why everybody around here is a terrible fucking driver. They're all just one line away from passing a fucking bad driving exam. At least I didn't have to drive for the guy. I don't know what's considered passing. Anyways. So that was an exciting adventure to get my license. I finally got it this week. I look like Super Mario. It's great. It's not ideal. I look terrible. I didn't shave my head because I was leaving it for something we were filming. I looked bad. I looked like I was going through a rut. I was just falling apart at the seams. I don't know, man. Being outside is so fucking distracting. You got the planes. It rains a little bit for some reason, even though it looks gorgeous outside. But the scenery is awesome behind me. How could you not like what I give you guys? I'm giving you full quality outdoor content. That's pretty nice. And if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably wishing, oh, what does the scenery look like? Well, it looks like someone was having a yard sale and then forgot about it. And then there's bushes and stuff. If I gave you a full 360 of the backyard, you would be like, ooh, what's going on back there? Not a lot of care, if I could be honest. We did the 48-hour film festival, which would be technically yesterday when you listen to this, we are going to the 48-hour film festival. And if you don't know what that is, they basically on Friday night they'll round all the teams together. Everyone gets 2 random genres that they get to choose from. You either could do one or both. So we went with one. And then from there, they give you a bunch of rules that you have to follow. And then you have 48 hours from that time to make a film. Shoot it, edit, send it in. So we got sci-fi and time period piece. Horrible things that we were dreading. We're like, we're going to get dark comedy. Nope, we did not. But luckily we had a really beautiful office to take advantage of, a lot of cool sets, a lot of people who knew how to use grip stuff. There's a lot of not sleeping, a lot of stress, and a lot of bad food that you have to eat. I ate a lot of fast food. More than my body was I usually allow my body to eat. My body felt like a bag of salt. I feel like the 40-year-old version would be like, I don't know, it felt like a bag of sand. That was my body, not a tit. Man, oh man. And it was a great experience, though. It's very difficult and obviously really challenging as filmmakers to only be given a certain amount of time. Whatever resources you have available, you get lucky, obviously, if you have more. We had a full fucking, like, lighting and, like, scenes. Dude, it's incredible how much we had access to and what we pulled off in the little time we did. So I played this villain. And here are the other rules. I forgot to tell you the other rules. So one of the obvious rules is using one of those genres or both. We used one, so we went with sci-fi. You have to name one character, either Jeff or Jennifer Hahn. You also, what was the other thing? You had to use a sign at some point, like a physical sign needed to be up somewhere. You had to give somebody a job of being a guru of something. Why did I feel like there was... Oh, and there was one line you had to use saying, I've been waiting for this. So, yeah, it was really cool. We did a sci-fi basically about girl in the future, people are gonna want be on hospice. I really shouldn't tell you it because what if someone just fucking takes it? But I'll say this: my character, I was the guru of the of the company. Basically, I was like a CEO, and I talked like this: "Hey, Johnson, remember, hard work equals happiness." A lot of that, which I'm very good at because I'm so used to those types in my life. Just people who are just horrible, robotic, corporate pieces of shit. And I won't even begin to get into it. But it was an interesting thing because I had played this boss/villain, which was different for me. And which leads to me to my next thing I'll tell you guys about. I'm in acting class now. I'm back in class. I'm happier than ever. Honestly, it's a super rewarding thing to be a part of. My friend had been bothering me about the class. My other friend had been pushing. A lot of my friends have been pushing me to get back in class because like this is really what I want to be doing. You know, like I love OnlyFarts. I love making TikToks and stuff. It's great, but it's not my passion. I like doing this as a way to like talk to you guys and get to know you more and see me for me. And I'll tell you a quick tale. When I was living in New York City, or when I first moved to New York City, I told my mom and my dad, I was like, my parents just split. I was like, I'm going to be an actor. This is what I'm going to do. And they go, if you can figure out a way to make it work, we're fully behind you. And that was more for my mom. My dad was just trying to make me not hate him at the time. He didn't really care. But that's neither here nor there. So I get into class. They helped me out with a little bit of it. I was living in Connecticut at the time, and I did a 6-week Meisner intensive, which I can only describe as what felt like getting hazed as an actor, just a verbally abused and being brought down and not really told what I should be doing and more about just yelling at you for what you're not doing. And like I'm all for, building someone up and trying to figure out how we're going to grow together, but when your strategy is to literally berate us and just leave us in that weird ptosis, almost like to fuck with us as actors, because the one thing that's really insane is that acting teachers, if you're a good acting teacher, you can literally manipulate any student to do what you need them to do for a scene. Because we're just trying to get better at the craft at the end of the day. We have no other missions besides get better, connect, and progress our careers. This guy literally, I felt like, was just berating us all the time. And like, listen, not for nothing. I learned some stuff in the class. Maybe that technique wasn't for me necessarily. And then after, at the end, we got pulled into, one by one and for our final review to be like, are you going to basically be pardoned into the course for 2 years, or is he going to recommend something else? He pulls me in, kind of like stares at his hands. He was bald at the time. I was not. I was with hair. This is BHL. This is before hair loss. This was 2014 BHL. Before hair loss. Brad before hair loss. BBHL. And he goes, listen, I think that maybe you should revisit this at a different point, but it's probably time for you to, look into the workforce and get a job and really figure this out. Maybe you want to revisit this at some other point. This is maybe just not for you. And I was like, holy shit, I suck at acting. That's what I got from that. You're basically you're telling me what parents would initially tell you if they don't find you talented. Get a job. It's not for you. And not the way of being like, I can never let my kid follow their dreams. It was like, I don't believe in you, so go get a job. And that fucking broke me, dude. That's literally what got me into stand-up comedy, if I'm going to be 100%, upfront with you guys. It was fucking sad. I was like, holy shit, I put all this time in at that time. I'd been doing it since I was 13. I was 22. And this is like after college, really trying to find myself. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm not meant to be an actor, And then I had so many talks with friends and stuff. And one of the kids who I haven't actually spoken to in years, but he was kind of the push. He's like, you're funny. Why don't you do stand-up comedy? I was like, I've never really thought about that. I thought about it, but I didn't think about it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like my thing of being like, oh, yeah. I'm like, I like being funny, but I never thought I could do a stand-up act. I wouldn't even know what to fucking do. And then I've realized I was in the Mecca for comedy. I was in New York City, and I just kind of hit the ground running. I went to a couple mics, one with a guy who I haven't spoken to in years. He bombed, and he said he went to a couple open mics before. He bombed, never got back on stage again. And then I went up, I bombed, and I was like, I got to keep doing this. This is like addicting. I want to just get good at this. You're not going to be good in a short span of time. 6 years later, I was fucking, getting up a shit ton of times. Then eventually I make the move to LA because I was like, you know what? I feel like I drained all the opportunities I've had at this point in New York for myself. This is not what I want to be doing. Oh, airplane during the most dramatic moment. I don't know if you guys can hear that because this microphone is pretty good. I don't know how good it is with an airplane. Anyways, I had that kind of moment. I was like, you know what? I don't really know how much more of just doing stand-up I can do. And I did a couple acting things with my friend, put me in some short films. And I was like, I can't let this go. Like, this is part of me. This has always been part of me. This is always what I loved more than anything. Acting is my life. It's my career. It's my passion. It's everything that makes me happy in this life. And I moved to LA. Still was doing stand-up here and there. More mostly doing stand-up. Doing sketches with friends in between the time. Made some really awesome, memorable stuff. And wasn't doing any consistent acting. Did some production jobs. Got to really feel what that felt like. Waited tables. And then it only took until this past year where I was like, man, I haven't been auditioning since I've been out here. I haven't really been immersed in it. I feel like there's not that... I've never really established a community of other people that are interested in what I like. It's always been kind of like getting, a couple groups of people who are excited, but then, they're not as passionate and really putting all their all into this. And I put everything into everything I do. I literally will sacrifice anything. And I got into class because it just kind of broke the camel's back because I kept being like, I don't have the money, I don't have this. I just come up with excuse after excuse. If you find yourself making excuses for shit, look in the mirror, tell yourself, hey, idiot, no more. Do it. Either do it or shut the fuck up and go get a job. One or the other. You got those options and those options alone. And I was like, it's time. It's time to take it seriously. It's time to really just fucking go all in. Put all my chips on the table and say, excuse me, sir, I'll take one trip to despair and purity of an art form. They're like, ooh, have a seat right here. We'll let you know how the ride goes. I step into class for the first time. I'm not participating in class until the second class, actually. I was spectating another class. I got high off watching people perform and seeing how my teacher was talking to them and making these little adjustments to help them be more present or really just be in the moment. And that's something I really thrive in when I really just put myself out there. I've been making more eye contact with people. I feel like I'm connecting more. Changes in my life, definitely. And again, I'm not going to begin to go into that, but I really feel like this is the best thing I could have done for myself. I'm very, like I seem emotional, but like I can't think of the words, but you guys don't understand how happy I am. I'm not even there yet. I'm just starting. Like, the journey is really just beginning, and it's so exciting, and it's also very fucking scary. That's also what makes it emotional. But I promise you this. This is my little time capsule. We're at like 23 minutes. I'll wrap this up soon, actually, just because I'm getting so fucking distracted. Today is August 22nd, 2021. In 4 years' time, I'm going to be in a way different place in my life. My career is going to be thriving. And we're going to be on a whole level different playing field that I'm going to look back at that, laugh at myself in a robe, and talk about with somebody important. This is just the beginning of my acting journey. I'm so glad that people who loved me putting on wigs are part of that. You get to see me for me. I'm going to hopefully try to show you real projects that I'm working on with me actually acting and not just me doing a dumb character and just spitting a couple punchlines at you. You're going to see some real work. And I honestly think that this is just the beginning of an incredible experience that we're going to go through together. I feel bad because I'm holding back a lot, but it's for a good reason. And I hope that my next episode will have a bit more a bit more jokes for you guys, because I feel like I'm just not myself today, but I told myself I want to put out an episode and that you deserve that. For the ones who do listen to this podcast, I appreciate you. I spend fucking $9 a month putting this online, so you should see it. Go to my youtube.com/bradstoll. Follow all the social medias. Thank you guys again for, if you do still watch this and still listen to this, I appreciate that. I appreciate myself for not crying. That's really good too. But I will keep you posted, and there is more to come. And as always, bye.